Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Fortin with Michigan Matters, and we're in the middle of June here, approaching the second half of June, and I have a very good friend here, Terry Mekoski. I'd like to introduce you to Terry. He is a candidate in the Michigan Senate for District 24, and that is what areas exactly?
That's Shelby Township, Macomb Township, Washington Township, the Village of Romeo, Washington, Bruce Township, and Northern Clinton Township.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So Terry, what led you to do it this time?
What's the old saying? You know, if good men do nothing, evil survives, right, or conquers. Or we just felt that the gentleman who is a state rep right now, who put his name in for the Senate seat that we'd ran against before, is in the twilight of his career. He's a career politician. He's been in office for decades. He's not a bad guy. I don't have anything bad to say about Doug Wozniak as far as that goes, but he's not at this point in time in his career, he's not what the 24th district needs. We need somebody who's going to fight for our people, for our economy, for the crime in our communities. These AI centers that are going up all over the place, people are having issues with, and we're going to stand by the people. We don't need a career politician attorney who is in bed with the establishment and has been one of the leading money grabbers there in Lansing since he's been up there. We don't take PAC money. I should say we don't take special interest PAC money. We haven't taken any PAC money, but we wouldn't take any special interest PAC money, and we don't take lobbyist money. I told anybody when I did a partial term in Lansing as a state rep that I can be the lobbyist's best friend. If you have something that's good for our community, it costs you zero with me. And I'm going to run it by our constituents. And if they vote yes, it's yes. But you couldn't give me $50 million in unmarked bills in the other room to vote the other way. It's just not what I'm made of. And I believe this. I've been a career law enforcement officer, city, state, county, and federal, since I've been 19 years old. I've worked the streets. I know how to keep the community safe. I know what it takes. I've worked with all the different agencies around Michigan. And I'm going to work for the people. I'm a service-oriented gentleman, and there's nothing against. I'm American. I'm a capitalist, but I don't believe you should go to Lansing or go to Washington to become a millionaire on the taxpayer's dime. Do it the right way. My grandpa had grocery stores. My dad had bars. My wife had a pizzeria. I'm all for doing it the right way and making money. I'm not against making money. I'm against taking taxpayers' money. And I'm there to serve the community, and that's what we want to do. I have 4 children. I have 13 grandchildren that live within 50 miles of the district here, and anything that happens in that district affects my family and the people that I want to represent.
So what I hear in all that, when you boil it all down, it seems to me you believe in representative government.
Absolutely.
Something we don't have in Michigan.
We really don't, unfortunately. We've talked about it, privately, but the thing is, we need the general public to realize, to do a little research. The folks who are in office, a lot of them believe that you, the voter, are not very bright, and that you're just they can come out every, the last few months before each election, and they have their signs up and their name recognition, and you're gonna vote for them. And that's unfortunately what happens a lot. I was mentioning earlier, we have a 32% approval rate of our politicians in office, yet we have a 92% re-election rate of these people. Something's missing, and it's the voter that believe me, I understand. Before I got involved in politics, I knew exactly what you mean. Most of us don't research our candidates. We don't research it. We go in there and we take the honor of voting, but we vote by memory, whose name we remember. Yeah. And without doing the research. The primary in August 4th, we need the young people, we need the middle-aged people, we need the old people to show up, and we need them to do their research, and we need them to vote for the candidates that are going to represent the people. More than any time in our history, we need representation who are constitutionalists, who are going to be there and follow the letter of the law, have transparency. I'll tell anybody, I'll give my financials before, during, and after. You won't see any discrepancies in my finance because I don't want their money. I don't want dirty money. I want to serve the people. and take whatever little salary is they give. I'll take that, and I have no problem with that. But we have to get back to people in office that have the integrity and have the people and what the will of the people is in mind, not their pocketbooks.
Yeah, I know. I say this a lot, that I've been watching this so many years, and it seems like we have less and less representation as the years go by. Everything is designed and engineered, bureaucracies, all this type of thing that the legislature has created, and they run our lives. They decide how much we're going to pay. Look, I mean, look at the United States Senate. How can anybody, Democrat or Republican, call it a representative body? Even 71% of Democrats want that election law passed.
Right.
I mean, so they're not representative except to the deep state in Washington.
Absolutely.
So we have a deep state in Lansing too. You mentioned Mr. Wozniak, who's a good guy, but I remember doing research on him a few years ago. It might have been when you were in for House for that partial term. I don't remember, but I remember doing research, and the research I found was among Republicans, the percentage rate of Republican people in the Michigan House, their percentage of voting for what the Speaker of the House wanted.
Right.
And he was way up there in the 90%.
Right.
So what, I mean, is that a lot of work? You go there and every vote comes down. Mr. Speaker, what do you want? Oh, okay. No, I vote no. Yes, I vote yes. I mean, you're supposed to be there to represent your people. And most of these people are controlled by the Speaker of the House, Absolutely. In my opinion. And so where is the input the people have? They only have input when they vote, and they only vote for the names that they see.
Right, and we need strong leaders in Lansing. The problem is that most of those representatives that go up there are put in office by the party, by the establishment.
Yes.
You know yourself, when I decided to run for office, this was, I mean, I had a beautiful retirement job. I was a senior financial investigator with the Drug Enforcement Administration. I was making well over six figures, and I decided one day I wanted to run for sheriff because I wanted to make the community safer for my children. I wasn't endorsed or really by the chairman who was there at the time, because later he told me that I didn't come and ask his permission to run for office. You know what? I've never read in a book in high school or college in the government that I had to ask permission from anybody to run for office. And I've told everybody, and I continue to say it, I don't care if you're a single unmarried young lady with a child working at the 7-Eleven, or you're a multimillionaire, you have the same right to run for office, and nobody can take that away from you, and nobody should stop you, especially your own party.
That's right.
It shouldn't come against you because you're not part of their establishment or handpicked person that they want, that they can control. It's called a check in a chair up there. They show up and they vote the way they don't read the bills, they don't propose bills, they don't write their own legislation. They simply let all that be given to them, and they sign off on it.
Yeah.
That's not who I am, and it's not who I will be if the 24th district elects me to be the representative.
So election integrity is a big thing now. It is, to me at least. I believe that Michigan is corrupt. I believe Macomb County, of which we're talking about here, I believe that that's corrupt also. Here we have in Lansing, we have a woman running for governor who is the Secretary of State, and she's not reclusing herself. She is going to be counting the votes in the governor race. And then in your area, Shelby is one of your areas, which is a large area.
Right.
And there, the one counting the votes, his wife is on the ballot. Right. And I mean, I can't believe that this is allowed.
Well, his wife is running for state representative against Jean Zott, and I ran against his wife and won. So I don't think I'm his favorite child either. And he's counting the vote on my race in Shelby Township as well as Jean Zott. I think he should do the proper thing. He should recuse himself. If my wife was running for office, if I was the clerk, I certainly would recuse myself. And if he doesn't, then shame on him, and the people and the state should remove him and put a temporary clerk in there for that election. It just, why not take away any aspects or appearance of anything that might be going on?
It's to me, it's brazen, because election integrity has been a great big issue now for a number of years, and you would think that they bend over backwards to make sure that there's no question.
Especially our so-called Republican Party, correct?
Yes.
You would think, right?
So, with all the issues we have going on now, is there certain goals that you would like to achieve or work on? I mean, I know we cannot guarantee passing of anything.
Right.
We can, though, explain what we're going to support and work towards.
Right.
You got to build a coalition to get a bill passed, but
absolutely.
But what are your hopes? What are your?
I want to represent the people. Like I said, I came from Detroit. You know, I worked as a police officer. My dad was a Teamster. Most of my family were blue collar people, were tradesmen and technical folks that came through the factories and everything else. So the district I'm at is a blue collar district. I want to be there for the people. We want to first and foremost make sure our communities are safe. Most people know, and coming from Detroit, I know if you don't have a safe community, if you don't have a place where you can lay your head and feel comfortable, it's rough to thrive. So we're going to make sure our community is safe. We're going to support our police officers, our firemen, our first responders. That's what we need to do. We need to keep our seniors safe. You know my situation, but I've sold my house in Macomb Township so that I can move in with my in-laws because my father-in-law has dementia. We've been doing that for the past 5 years, and I see how folks try to prey on the seniors in our own home, let alone around our community. There has to be a awareness made up, and being a former law enforcement, I'll make sure that we stay on top of that to keep our seniors informed and to keep them safe and to make sure that they're not scammed out of their life savings. That's a big issue. We have the AI centers, which has been a big topic. I just talked in Washington Township at the township meeting there about these, again, politicians that almost tried to slide in that AI center in Washington Township. We don't have the facts about these AI centers. We don't know. We haven't got the studies on what it does to our soil, what it does to our water, what it does to our environment, what it does to the noise issue. And they were literally talking about putting one up, you know, mile and a half, if that, away from the high school and the schools and the communities. These are all issues that have to be looked at because, like I say, I have my grandchildren and my children around here. I don't want them to pay the price for a few politicians wanting to make a few quick bucks. If it's not, I'm not against data centers. I'm not against technology, and I'm not against America being first and Michigan being first. But we have to do it, make sure it's safe. And that vote has to come from the community, the people, not a room full of bureaucrats who have been elected, who believe me, if they're voting in the dark and you're not knowing about it, and these things are occurring, that dark pack money is coming in, and follow the money. I tell everybody, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money.
You're talking about a lot of money.
A lot of money. And that's what has to be looked at. I don't need, I wouldn't be, and I always refer to the folks that do it as the Judases of our day. We do not need people selling our children and our grandchildren's future for a few shekels today, and then end up that their health is going to be affected. Our poor children and grandchildren being able to become pregnant, to cancer effects, all these different issues that have come up that we've seen with different environmental issues with these major plants. That needs to be addressed. We have the Great Lakes. We've already given sold 45% of our farmland in China. Our Great Lakes are being siphoned. We are a big target on the global stage, and we need somebody to stand up to these people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really troubles me because it's like we have in our backyard here in Southeast Michigan, the Washington Township, but we have Saline, we have a whole lot of places in Michigan. And that's something that's always troubled me. And because a good conservative rep, even though your primary concern is your constituents, many times your votes affect others too.
Sure.
In this case, talking about data centers, if we could get a moratorium until things could be sorted out, I mean, they're sprung upon us overnight. We have a state that is totally anti-business in every way, high energy costs, high property tax, high everything, and high regulation. Trump has companies coming to the United States because of his tariffs and everything. And why would they pick Michigan? They have 50 places to make him happy, right? Why would they choose Michigan? Because we are totally not friendly. And yet, as all across America, these data centers, how many do we need? And they're overnight like mushrooms everywhere. But that we can have. Chinese battery factories, thank God that's over with.
Right.
But that is acceptable. This kind of garbage is acceptable. But real manufacturing and everything is not. And we need reps that are going to put an end to this sort of thing.
And that's why we're running, because I've been up to Lansing and I see there are good people up there, but there's a lot of followers up there as well. We need good people that are strong leaders that are going to take a grip on what needs to be done and lead by example. And folks will, you'd be surprised how much can change if they're seeing that the people are behind you and that their reelection depends on them doing the right thing. And that's the only way we're going to get to change these things, is by if we are convinced that the politicians in office are convinced that the people will vote them out of office. We will do our research. We will stand for the candidates that stand for our values, our constitutional values, and want to do what's right for the people, not for the pocketbooks.
Absolutely. I know that it seems to me that election laws have to be changed. Well, that's going to be super difficult because the people in power now like it the way it is. But right now you have the power of incumbency. You have the PAC money and the dark money and the special interest money and all these sort of things driving the issues of the day. And to me, we need some kind of election reform that levels the playing field better. I was all for term limits years ago. I've changed my mind completely since then because I believe an election is a term limit. The problem is our elections aren't fair, honest, or anything like that. So if we can make our elections fairer, because if you got a good rep doing a good job, you want to try to keep them, but you can't. So, but because of the bad ones that are allowed to stay forever, people feel our only hope is to get rid of, getting rid of them every X number of years. I'd like to see some changes to that so good reps can stay, but the problem is we have to make the elections more equal.
Yeah,
somehow.
It's got to be a secured election. It's got to be, we've got to get back to, I believe, the paper ballots. We got to get back to the accountability. This 4, 5, 6, 7 day voting to me is just
terrible.
It's horrible. I mean, what do you need that long for? To cheat. That's the only reason they need that long for, to count the votes and see where they need more votes.
Do you think there might be a way of making spending limits on campaigns so nobody can come in and spend, $3 million on a House race?
Love to be able to do it if they, but
probably be impossible.
Impossible now with the dark money and the PAC money that's available out there. They're just going to throw it through a dark PAC, and you're never going to know about it. It's a shame. That's why you got to do the research on these candidates. You got to do the research and see who's backing them. Endorsements. Everybody asks me, did you seek any endorsements? I will say this emphatically: no. I don't endorse, and I don't want endorsements. I'm not real thrilled with our politicians and our government. So why would I want their endorsement? It's like me asking for somebody with bad credit to co-sign for me. I don't want it. I don't want it, and I say that over and over, and people kind of laugh. But I'm like, and they're not all bad. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I've seen what an endorsement comes with, and in most cases, it's just another form of you owe me. A wink and a smile, a handshake that, that you're going to owe somebody something. I owe nobody nothing. I'm not going to be bribed. I'll never be blackmailed. I'll never be threatened. I'm not afraid of any of that. And I'm not going to put myself in a position to be blackmailed. We're aware of what goes on. We're aware of what we need to do to stay clean and to represent the people of Michigan.
Is there anything else, other subjects you'd like to talk about while we're together?
Just to reiterate, our people, August 4th, we need votes. If you're in Shelby, Washington, Romeo, Bruce, Ray, Clinton Township, Northern Clinton Township, please look into us. Please, when I say vote for me, I say research me and see if I'm your candidate. I would love your vote. I'd love to represent you, and you have my word. And most we shouldn't have to say it, but most politicians won't say it. I won't lie to you. I will make sure I stay in the district, and I will make sure that our constituents are first and foremost in Lansing.
Do you have? Can they donate at a website or anything? Can you?
We're pretty much, it's all friends and family and supporters. We've had great supporters. We're grassroots. At Mekoski.com is our website. You can go there, and it's just got a donation link. You can put that up. We would love to have, we need to get literature out. We need to get billboards out. We need to get text messages out. And we plan on doing that. And any little bit that you could donate would help our cause. We ask that you talk to anybody in that district that you know. Please inform them of who we are and what we want to do for the people.
Fantastic. So that's what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. The primary, and that's something else that very few people take seriously, is the primary on August 4th. The primary is just as important, in many cases more so, I think, than the actual election in November, because this is where we get to pick who we want to represent us in the general election. If in this case we're talking about Republicans, naturally, but it's the same thing with Democrats. The primary is where you select your candidate to run in November. It's a very important election, and especially this year in a midterm election. So much is at stake. They say, oh, the president's not in it, so it's not that important. Yes, it is. The president is in it. And believe me, there's nothing more they'd love to do than impeach Donald Trump. So we have to keep the Michigan House, the U.S. House and U.S. Senate. Michigan desperately needs maintain a Republican House. We're going to try to gain a few seats, but we also have to get the Senate back and the governorship. So research these candidates, because right now I'm trying to research governor candidates. My favorite got thrown off the ballot. So we're trying to find out who we'd like the best. We have to get a candidate for governor that for the first time will be a real Republican candidate who will really do Republican things in the state of Michigan and return Michigan back to the manufacturing powerhouse that it ought to be, and to protect the people of the state. But the Senate is critical to take it. I think Terry can be one of those people that help take this, and he'd be a wonderful representative for the people of the state of Michigan. So if you can help him, go to his website and make a donation. And we're going to do this again.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is only mid-June, so we're going to do it again.
Sounds great.
And anyway, so also michiganmatters.org, if you can go to our website to help us keep this going with a small amount, that would be wonderful. But please, if you're watching it on YouTube, please like it and share it to get more viewership. We're just kind of starting out this last year or so. So we'd like to really start to grow and have more impact. We want to try to get candidates from around the state, good ones. We're concerned about Michigan. And I know we're centered in Macomb. And Macomb is an important county, but the whole state is important. And it's important about these data centers everywhere, for instance, and that type of thing. So I want to thank you all for being with us. Thank you, Terry, again.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
And